Hey guys! Alright, today I have a list. I'm a list maker anyway, so this is not going to be uncommon. I've been thinking a lot about the channel and what kind of content you guys might like to see. I talked to some readers in my beta groups. I talked to some readers in my, just a bunch of different readers. Talked to other authors, and I'm kind of trying to get my head around like what I want this channel to be. I think we're gonna just do it all, which is what I do anyways. So I have a list of ideas and I'd love your feedback on what you're looking to see here. And for now I can at least give you, where I'm thinking of going with this. So let's open up this journal of a million notes and see where we're at. I journal everything, so this is also something you'll see me do a lot. But we got YouTube ideas. So one of the things I want to talk about on this channel is the word crazy, and why I started using that word, why it's in my brand, my logo, my publishing company, even way before I ever decided to do Crazy Ink. Crazy was the word people thought of when they thought of Erin. Obviously my work as a therapist, a lot of people are like, I don't know, is that bad? But I'll tell you the story behind that, and I don't think crazy's bad at all. The way I see crazy is fun, different, exciting, you never know what you're gonna get. That's how I define crazy, but we'll do a video on that. Inspiration behind books that I write. All of my books have some element of real life in them. I was trained as a journalist, so it's like impossible for me to keep the truth out of my writing. I really do believe in the whole write what you know, and so I want to talk about that, where I get those kind of ideas, like what has inspired some of my recent works in progress, stuff like that. Okay. New author advice is something a lot of people seem to want, whether it's indie or whether it's pub shopping, how to set up an author page, a readers group, a newsletter, a BookBub, how to, anything. I mean, whether it's the platforms, people are looking for advice on mistakes that I've made, which I've made every mistake, I promise, or even successes that I've had and what has worked. Not as many of those, but I do have some of those. Again, readers groups, the different platforms. I've recently been teaching a group of authors how to get their Pinterest up and going, and that's gone well. I'm gonna try to figure out if I can do a voiceover on some of those trainings I did and see if I can post those here as well. I am shocked by how much success I've had with Pinterest and a couple of other platforms that I didn't expect to have success with. So that's something I'd love to share with you guys. Upcoming projects, obviously my little library stuff. Another thing I think would be cool would be writing prompts. I would love to give you guys some cool prompts that I got not from the writing world, but actually from therapy world, and they have helped me a ton when I get stuck. I'm currently working with KDP Rocket, and I am thinking about doing a review, but I want to make sure I believe what I'm saying before I do it. So I'm testing that and playing with that. Kindle Unlimited versus wide. Everybody wants to know why Erin lists some books wide and some books KU. Easy. That would be something I could talk about for probably hours. The math of books. I hate math. I'm a creative person. Math has never been my thing, but nothing has taught me more than Book World how much math matters. So again, I could do hours of videos on that. Building a tribe, networking, relationships, teamwork. I honestly do not think you can succeed in indie publishing without a team. So I can certainly talk about that and what we've done, where we're headed, my thoughts on that, even my training as far as systemic group therapy and how that kind of comes into play sometimes. Branding, I can tell you so much about branding, and I've been doing that with authors as well, and that's something I've thought about talking about. Deadlines, co-writing, what makes a great co-write, what makes a bad co-write, how to know when you have a good co-writer, when maybe it's not such a good match, and then readers' perspective on co-writes. I've had a lot of feedback about co-writes that I've done from readers, and some of it really gave me some insight that I would love to share with you guys. Self-publishing versus traditional publishing. I've done them both, and I can certainly tell you the pros and cons of both. The editing process, how I self-edit, why it's important, juggling and kind of figuring out a work in progress versus an edit, sort of my writing process. Again, I could talk about it for hours. Another big one is self-care and the stress. There is a lot of authors have daytime jobs and families and you know, those kind of things as well. And it makes deadlines and some of this stuff and, you know, marketing and all the things that come with publishing a book in indie, like, feel impossible sometimes. So I've thought about doing videos on how to juggle that and balance it. I can tell you I suck at this, but I also can tell you I've gotten better and what's worked to help me get better. Networking, again, drama, whether it's in the indie book world, whether it's YouTube, whatever the platform, there's drama everywhere. How to avoid it, when to get involved, when to stay clear of it, the pros and cons of, I guess we'll say, not so flattering marketing around your brand or your books. Yeah, a lot of how-to videos. I can certainly do a lot of them. Don't know every platform, know a few really well. An actual day in the life of an indie author and publisher. Again, I could do 10 videos on that. Writing to trends, pros versus cons. Another one I've got a lot of thoughts on, and they seem to change for me. So that's certainly something I could talk about. And on that same kind of like line of thinking, multi-genre publishing. So then we've got contracts. Contracts are a topic that I don't think a lot of people think about. What makes a valid contract? How can they actually legally be enforced? The law behind them. What is just a dead contract that you might as well not bother signing? What you can expect after you sign a contract, those kind of things. Scams also kind of applies to contracts in some cases, unfortunately. Vanity presses. Yeah, some of these are repeats, but another one is sort of like author relationships, whether it's jealousy or egos bumping, those kind of things. I see a ton of that. How to avoid it, how to not let it get to you, those sort of things. Content in reader groups, content on your author pages, on Twitter, Instagram. What are you sharing with readers? How, why, what's working, that sort of thing. Bloggers, when to use them, when not to use them. Money, where to spend it, where to save it. Etiquette in book world, because there's a lot of it, and people don't always know that. You know, you get a new author, they come in and they're all excited and they just want to start pimping and marketing everywhere, and the next thing they know, people are blocking them because they've broken some rules of etiquette that they didn't know existed. Bridge burning. This one I've seen so many times it hurts. I've watched authors burn bridges. I watched them try to fix the bridge they just burnt down. When to do it, when not to do it, when to just walk away. Author ranks, that's a big one. It's something that can mystify a lot of people. How much do they matter? How often to check them? While we're at it, Author Central. Listing books, where to list them. Again, KDP Rocket will come into play on that one. I would love to do reviews on like Animoto and MailChimp, Weebly, different venues that I use for my platforms. Then maybe one on why I paperback the way I do. So at Crazy Ink, we tend to put our paperbacks out before our ebooks, which is not the norm, and I have a lot of reasons why I do that. And it's made a major impact on our sales and where our sales come from and our readership. So that's something I would certainly love to talk about. My muses, I have a lot of them, and I would love to tell the stories to those. Books and authors that I love. I'd love to start doing some book reviews. I also need to get the hell off the couch, so I'm thinking bookstore tours, going out and talking to other authors. Yeah, real life inspirations behind the stories. That's one that I've been thinking about a lot, and I've got a couple of great ideas for those. You'll also see live readings, trailers, author interviews, cross promotion, maybe even a video on the benefits of cross promotion with like multi-publisher, multi-author series, which is something Crazy Ink's super involved with right now. There are a lot of pros to that, and there are also a lot of cons to that. And they're not things I saw coming, so I think that would be a cool one. Audio clips of my books, what's coming next, book signings, how to prep for them, how to get over that anxiety of your first signing, how to basically have fun at them, because they really are a lot of fun. Let's see, this channel is going to go on forever. My TBR, Goodreads. How I feel about Goodreads. Goodreads is another one of those pros and cons type of places, especially for indies authors, but I've got a lot to say about that. And then maybe just sort of general, like, a day in the life. Like today I literally burnt an arc. Just burnt it in the driveway. Long story there, that one's gonna get a video of its own, but there's so much to this. When I say Crazy Train, you are on it. You have officially arrived. Those are the ideas, the things on my mind, the things I'm thinking about putting on this channel. Obviously, a lot of it's geared toward newer authors, but I want to network with other authors. I want to get to know authors in the AuthorTube community, and I also want to meet new readers and see what people are interested in. Just kind of find my way in other parts of book world. So that is today's video and sort of my Crazy Train plan. I don't know what order these will come in. I am so a by the mood kind of person, just like I write. But yeah, these videos will come, and they will come fast and furious, just like my stories do. I hope you guys have a great night. Please hit like and thumbs up and all that stuff that I don't really even barely understand yet, but apparently math matters here too. Have a great night, guys. Until then, peace, love, books, and crazy.